Lemonada.
Today's episode is brought to you by Jevity. If you've ever had blood work come back fine, but still felt like something was off, this might sound familiar. What stood out to me about Jevity is that they go beyond a standard annual physical.
It's an all-in-one precision health membership that goes beyond the results. You get comprehensive testing plus a dedicated 3-person care team, including a longevity specialist, to help you understand what your body is telling you and build a personalized protocol. That's what makes Jevity different. Most companies give you pages of lab results and leave you to figure them out yourself. Jevity helps you put that information into action with personalized supplement packs, access to hormone optimization, peptides, and ongoing support, all in one membership. Head to gojevity.com/happier. That's GOGEVITI.com and use code HAPPIER to get 20% off your membership. One more time, that's gojevity.com/happier, code HAPPIER for 20% off. Jevity services are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Results may vary.
You can focus on exercise, nutrition, all the things you're supposed to do for your health, but if you are not sleeping well, it is very hard to feel refreshed.
Especially when you wake up overheated in the middle of the night, that completely affects my sleep, which is why I love the ChiliPad 2.0 by Sleep Me. It is a water-based mattress topper that controls your sleep temperature and works with your existing mattress. And if one person sleeps hot and the other sleeps cold, and that's Adam and me, each side can have its own temperature setting, which is amazing.
Yeah, and I also love that it automatically starts when you get into bed, so it feels seamless. Visit www.sleep.me/Gretchen to get up to $255 off your ChiliPad 2.0 with code Gretchen. This special offer is available for Happier listeners and only for a limited time. Order it today with free shipping and try it out for 30 days. You can return it for free if you don't like it with their sleep trial. Visit www.sleep.me/Gretchen and see why cold sleep is your ultimate ally in performance and recovery. Hello, we're here for More Happier, a podcast where we get happier. It is the weekend. It is observations and reflections with a looser vibe. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, Gretch.
So today we are going to hear about how our Design Your Summers are going, and I am going to talk about something that I have been thinking about a lot ever since I started Operation Knicks Knowledge to appreciate the New York Knicks. But first, something making us happier. Elizabeth, what's something making you happier?
Well, Gretch, let's call it Mahjong merch.
Ooh.
So I love Mahjong. I'm trying to incorporate Mahjong into my life more and more on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And people around me have decided, oh, Liz is a great person when I want to give her a gift, to give her something Mahjong related. And I am enjoying it so much because, Mahjong is having a moment in the United States.
It is.
And the merch has really improved.
Okay.
So I'd say a few years ago, if you looked up Mahjong items,
Right.
they wouldn't be that great. But now they're getting cuter and cuter and nicer and nicer. Sarah gave me some Mahjong coasters.
I love a coaster. We were just talking about how great coasters are.
Yes, and they're such a good gift. And now, of course, I'm like, well, I need to have a Mahjong game so I can put out my coasters. But I've got napkins, I have pouches, I have a t-shirt. I'm like, oh, I need to play Mahjong so I can wear the Mahjong t-shirt my friend gave me.
Right.
I've got socks, really adorable socks. Now, of course, I want to then wear them and have them show when I play Mahjong. So I'm trying to figure that out.
So are you saying that having the merch actually makes you want to schedule more Mahjong?
Indeed, it does. It absolutely does. Yes. And it makes me want to host. Sarah also gave me this really pretty tea towel, Mahjong tea towel, which would be perfect for hosting. And I have to say, when one hosts Mahjong, people really do get a kick out of seeing Mahjong stuff. For instance, when I hosted, I ordered these little cocktail napkins that have all kinds of different Mahjong phrases on them, which are kind of funny.
Like what?
For instance, one says, pause, ... never mind, which is something that people say all the time in the game when they're thinking about whether or not they want to pick up a tile. And everybody got the biggest kick out of it. One person even took some of the napkins home because she wanted to show her daughter. So I'm just loving it because it's like an identity thing.
Yeah, it's like how you embrace Corgi Nation.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, you had Corgi paper clips and a Corgi magnet on your fridge and Corgi water bottle and Corgi Christmas ornament. And it was just Corgi, Corgi, Corgi.
And I love it. And I still love Corgi stuff as well. In fact, I was just looking at some leggings a friend sent me. The back of them is like a Corgi butt. And they're just absolutely ridiculous.
I can't picture that, I gotta say.
I'll send you the photo.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's the thing we keep talking about, like adding whimsy to life. And this does add whimsy to life. It's also practical. It's also stuff that I will actually use.
Yeah.
I will use coasters and napkins and socks. I don't know. It's just nice.
But can I say one of the things that's encouraging to me is that you say, well, it makes me want to play Mahjong more. Because I do feel like sometimes the buying of the things becomes the thing that you enjoy, and then you never go ahead and do the stuff.
Yes.
Because a lot of times there's tremendous pleasure in buying the stuff. Like I found this way with when I started watercolor. I just wanted to buy more and more and more watercolor tools and papers and pens and this set of paints and that set of paints. And what about this workbook? And I had to say to myself, no, you can't buy anything more until you've just watercolored.
Yes.
And buying this stuff made me feel like I was doing watercoloring, but I wasn't doing watercoloring. So it's good that you have this Mahjong stuff, but you're like, well, the reason that I have these Mahjong napkins is because I will put them out when people come over to play Mahjong. So that's very constructive because the point of it is really to have more Mahjong in your life. And to do that, you have to play it.
Right.
And look, organizing a game of a bunch of people coming over to play Mahjong is a lot harder than ordering a set of Mahjong tea towels off the internet.
Yes.
I just think we always need to make sure that the pleasure of the stuff doesn't replace the harder pleasure, but the much greater pleasure of the using.
Yes. And again, we are all trying not to acquire stuff. So that is something to be aware of. But yes, I do feel like this is stuff that I am using. And also, again, this is gifts.
Yes.
The sort of thing, if someone's going to give you a gift, they have an area to focus on. I am not myself, although I did get those cocktail napkins. I am not ordering up a bunch of Mahjong
But you also
stuff.
like things that are very tailored to a purpose. Like you love something that's customized or has initials on it. And I feel like Mahjong coasters is like that.
Yes.
You could use them anytime, but it's particularly fun to have them out while you're having people over for Mahjong. Again, it's elevating. It gives people a kick in a pretty modest, useful way.
So thanks to everyone who's given me my new Mahjong merch.
I really, really wish that I enjoyed games, but I just don't like games.
I bet Eliza and Eleanor would love Mahjong.
Yeah, actually, they probably would. They love games.
What about you, Gretch? What's making you happier?
You know, it's warm now, and I'm a person who runs very cold, and we've had a very cool season here in New York City. It's been very, very pleasant, beautiful weather, a lot of days. And I just love walking out of the apartment without a coat. I love just snapping on a leash and walking out the door without putting on a coat. I just feel so free and light. It just feels like a treat every time. But I realized, however, that if I'm going out for any kind of long walk, I have to worry about sun protection. Like, do I need to grab a baseball cap? Do I need to have a long sleeve shirt? Do I need my sun gloves? So I realized in the winter, I feel so free because I don't have to worry about sun exposure because I'm all covered up. And in the summer, I don't have to worry about being cold. And so either way, I win.
That's good.
Either time, there's something that I'm happily free from. But of course, it comes with its downsides, but that's okay. So right now, it's not having to have the coat.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is something so freeing about just walking out of the house and not bringing a coat or a sweatshirt, because I am the person who brings a sweatshirt everywhere.
No, I do too.
It's like 100 degrees.
Yes.
And I'm like, let me grab my sweatshirt.
Yes.
And I almost never use it, but it's like a safety blanket. But if you're just going to be outside, you can count on the weather.
Yeah.
The problem is when you start going inside and the air conditioning is blasting.
No, then I have to bring something heavy.
Yeah. Your love of this reminds me of one time the thing that was making me happier was LA summer traffic.
Oh.
Traffic is much lighter in summer, and it is that thing of like just having a more ease
Yes.
of life in the summer.
Yes. But it's funny because when it's hot out, I'm like, how can I? It's like, it seems like it must be so much trouble to pull on a heavy coat and weigh yourself down. How could I ever make myself do that? But of course, then when it's cold, I'm like, oh my gosh. Where's my heaviest coat? Let me put this thing on.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like such a burden when you need it than just feeling so free from it. It's one of the pleasures of summer.
Yes, indeed. All right, Gretch, coming up, there's something you've been meaning to ask me. But first, this break.
I want to tell you something my friend Adam Gilbert said to me years ago. When it comes to eating right and exercising, you probably already know exactly what you should do. The hard part is actually doing it consistently, and that's where most of us get stuck. Adam is the founder of My Body Tutor, a health and fitness coaching program built around helping people follow through.
With My Body Tutor, you get a real coach who checks in with you every day, someone who knows your goals, expects to hear from you, and helps you stay on track when motivation fades. So if you've ever read about outer accountability and thought, yes, that's exactly what I need, this is it. Go to mybodytutor.com/happier and you'll get $50 off your first month.
A new school year always feels like a fresh start. And one thing I've learned is that every child learns a little differently. For families looking for an educational option that can adapt to their child's needs and goals, K-12 powered schools might be worth exploring. They offer tuition-free, accredited online public education for students in kindergarten through 12th grade, and they really embrace the idea that learning isn't one size fits all.
K-12 has been a leader in online education for more than 25 years. They provide flexible learning options tailored to each student's interests and future goals, with dedicated teachers trained in virtual instruction who offer real-time support. Students also have opportunities to participate in extracurricular activities, connect with peers, and be part of a vibrant online community, all in a setting that works for your family. See how K-12 powered schools can help unlock your child's full potential. Enroll online today at k12.com/happier. That's the letter K, the number 12.com/happier. k12.com/happier.
Finding the right rug is weirdly harder than it should be. You either fall in love with a beautiful rug and worry about every spill, or you buy something washable that just doesn't look very nice. That's why I've been so impressed with Tumble. Their rugs really look like designer rugs, but they're made for real life.
I love that they're spill-proof and machine washable. If something gets spilled, it beads up so you can wipe it away. And when it's time for a deeper clean, you just remove the rug from the cushion non-slip pad and put it in the washing machine. Plus, they're OEKO Tex certified, so they're safe for kids, pets, and anyone spending time on the floor. Honestly, I think Tumble figured out how to make a rug that's both beautiful and practical. Machine washable rugs made better. For a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off plus free shipping at tumbleliving.com/happier. That's TUMBLE living.com/happier. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you.
Okay, Elizabeth, I've been meaning to ask you about your summer. We did design your summer, and I want to hear how your Off-White Delight is going. You've talked about your No Worry summer because listeners have been asking, but is there any further observations, reflections about, people are so intrigued by this No Worry, Elizabeth. Tell us more, but first start with Off-White Delight. Do you feel constrained by it? Does it feel burdensome? Is it great for decision fatigue? Tell us all.
In some ways, all of the above. So in case anyone doesn't know, I'm having a summer of Off-White Delight where I am endeavoring to wear off-white only as much as possible between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
So off-white only, you mean not like an off-white shirt and jeans. You mean like off-white top and bottom.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And it came about because we always talk about your signature color. And then I decided finally that my signature color was going to be bone, which is off-white. And then, I don't know, I wore one day an off-white outfit and it just felt bold and fun. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll do this all summer. Then I landed on it. Well, it is super fun because there's something about that restriction that makes outfit planning more fun. Like I'm doing more things with shoes and belts because the color is the same. But it is true, let me just say that white is very hard to keep clean.
I was thinking about that.
White.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have started when I'm driving, I put a tea towel over myself. Because I often drink coffee when I drive, and spilling coffee on white is a disaster. So now I'm driving with one of my corgi tea towels.
I was going to say, or it could be a mahjong tea towel. Yeah.
So that is true. Also, am I getting sick of it? Not yet, but I could imagine getting really sick of it. Also, I realize I have these other clothes that I really want to wear.
Right.
So I think I have to incorporate the exceptions. It's the exceptions, of course, that prove the rule. Because I don't want to not wear something summery that I love because I missed my chance. So I'm doing a little bit of that. And I've decided I just can't think about it at all for exercising or hiking for obvious reasons.
Right. Well, do you feel like the decision fatigue, like, oh, I know what I'm going to wear because I'm only choosing between these parts of my closet? Is that true? Or is it just a different kind of decision fatigue because now you're putting that towards the shoes and the belts and all that?
No, it does help decision fatigue for sure. And I do think it's really marking summer.
Yes.
I mean, part of it is that thing you and I discussed. So summer just seems to slide by.
Yeah.
And this really is marking summer.
Right. It's such a summery way of dressing. It's not even like a summer of navy blue.
Yes.
It just does feel very, very summery. Do you think you might do this every summer?
Well, I've been pondering that. We'll see. I was thinking, is there something else I would do? But off-white in summer makes sense. I don't know what else I would do. I mean, I'm not going to do like your friend who wore all pink. I'd be starting too much from scratch. It just isn't me.
Right.
Would I have a summer of wearing all black, which would sort of be the opposite, but also possible. So I've been thinking about it, but maybe I will just embrace this for summers. I mean, now I have more off-white clothing, of course, than I've had before. I bought several things so that I could sustain this. It's just interesting to put anything like this out into the world.
No, it's constraints bring freedom. Now, you mentioned that you have other summery clothes that you don't want to go to waste or that you want to wear, but you live in LA. Do you think you'll be able to wear them anyway? You just wear them after Labor Day.
That's true, and after Labor Day, but certain things just don't look right in the fall. They're just summery, no matter what the weather is.
Summer cotton dress or something. Yeah.
But so far, I really have been sustaining it. And I will say, I went out to dinner with Jack and Adam one night wearing jeans and an off-white shirt. And I told them, I'm like, I hope I don't run into anyone who knows about my summer of off-white delight. I mean, it is in my mind so strongly. I'm such a rule follower. So now that I've set this as a rule, I have to be wearing off-white at all times.
That's very funny.
So it's fun. You know what? It's fun.
It sounds very fun. Yeah, it feels like white is the only color that would work with, unless you had a lot of yellow, because otherwise you'd be just building up so much stuff. Interesting. Well, how about no worry? How is the summer of no worry going?
Well, no worry is great. So set aside worry is my other big thing this summer. Now, I will say I think wearing off-white is helpful with that because I am constantly reinforcing that I am designing my summer and that it is summer and that I am being mindful about it. And I know that my other part of that is setting aside worry. So I realized they're feeding each other.
There's a very good hack built into that.
Pairing.
Well, and because we have to choose our clothes every day, unless we completely committed to a uniform like Steve Jobs or something, it's a good thing to be like, I am choosing this. What else am I choosing? I am also choosing to set aside worry. It's a very good sort of built-in reminder of this is what I want from this summer. And wearing white feels light and free. And in American associations, it doesn't always have that association, of course, culturally.
Right.
But this feels light and airy and wispy, and that goes along with setting aside worry.
Yes. So I think that's been helpful. Listeners have been incredibly helpful. We've had a ton of discussion about it. We did a very special episode about worry and how to deal with worry.
Yeah.
Listeners have joined me in setting aside worry for the summer.
People are enchanted by this idea.
I got bracelets that say, don't worry, be happy. So I kind of feel like I'm being taken along in the wave of listeners who want to embrace not worrying. And I am hoping that it really takes hold and is something that I bring into my life in general. And as I was telling you, I'm trying to think of it, I guess, as a practice where I acknowledge worry is going to happen. It's just not ruminating and dwelling. And I'm really trying to drill down on not stewing.
You wanted to go to New York City, and that happened. So that you're doing really well for Design Your Summer, Liz. I think you're doing amazing.
Thank you. Yes. You know what? This is definitely my most successful Design Your Summer. And I think it is because I have this very practical thing of wearing white. Well, you could say it's not practical to wear off white, but it's practical in that it shows up every day.
Yes.
And so it stays top of mind. And it's always keeping things top of mind.
Yep.
But how about you? How's your Design Your Summer going?
Well, I would say it's a little bit, and not as being as consistent as you. So I have not started watching Girls, which I wanted to start this summer. Haven't started that yet. Even though I really want to, it's like that hurdle of getting into a new show. I have done nothing about writing the captions for my photo albums. I've made these photo albums. Now I need to write the captions. They're just stacked up on a coffee table. I need to do these captions. But I have been doing doodle sketching. I'm taking these online classes in doodle sketching, which I'm really enjoying. I have been doing that. And the most important thing that I've started is my summer of Virginia Woolf's diaries. So every summer I give myself an ambitious reading aim, like my summer of Proust or my summer of rereading. And this was my summer of Virginia Woolf's diaries. I finished volume 1. I'm 3/4 of the way through volume 2. It's a very particular kind of reading. And so I really enjoy it, but then I'll put it down and then read a novel or a nonfiction book and pick it up again because you're just in someone's racing thoughts. And she writes about how she's tumbling through her. So there'll be these moments of incredibly beautiful writing, but then a lot of it, you sort of don't really understand what she's talking about. There's a ton of footnotes to explain who the people are. So I'm really enjoying it, but it's a very particular kind of reading. But speaking of reading, I know a lot of people like to have a reading aim, and that is something that you can do in the Happier app. You can have a reading queue in the Happier app, and let's say you get a great reading recommendation, you can put it in there. I know a lot of people are trying to manage their reading and do more reading and enjoy their reading more and track their reading. If you download the app at thehappyerapp.com or just get it wherever you want your apps, you can manage your reading queue there. And that's really great if you're trying to do that with your reading.
I'm just thinking maybe you should watch Girls while you do your photo album captions. Or do you need to concentrate?
I think Girls is something where I really want to be paying attention. And this is what I realized is kind of a misconception that I had. I used to think, I can do the photo album captions while I'm watching something else, even something that I've watched a million times like The Office. But in the end, I always start just paying attention. I'm not good at multitasking. It would have to be something that was kind of like a news program or something where I could kind of listen with one ear and write the photo captions.
Right.
I really am a person who concentrates. I can't multitask very well like that. And that's the problem is I keep thinking, I'll do the photo album captions while I'm doing something else. And it's like, I don't know that I really can. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. No, but Girls, I think I would need to pay very, very close attention.
Well, I think you can still accomplish all of the things that you want to do to design your summer. You just got to get on it.
I know.
All right, Gretch, what is our spotlight on a tool this week?
One thing I love thinking about in how to design your summer is to give myself a daily recess. I love taking a daily recess, but many adults don't get summer vacation. So you need to build in that play, exploration, and fun into the day in different ways. I put together a guide with prompts and ideas to help you figure out what kind of recess would actually be most enjoyable for you at happiercast.com/recess. Super fun.
That is fun. I remember when I was in first grade, I was allowed to stay inside during recess because I just didn't like going outside. And I still remember the deliciousness of being inside during recess.
Love an indoor recess.
All right, Gretch, coming up, there's something you've been meaning to tell me. But first, this break.
I've been trying to say yes more to little adventures. Nothing huge, just getting out of the routine and going somewhere different for the day. And it really makes you appreciate having a car that feels solid and comfortable, where you're not thinking about the drive, you're just focused on where you're going. That's what stood out to me about the Defender. It has that rugged design, but it also feels really thoughtful inside. And I like that there's a full lineup, from the 2-door 90 to the 110 and the 130 with seating for up to 8. So it really fits different kinds of plans.
And it's built with those durable, purposeful materials so you can actually use it without worrying about every little thing. It also has features that make driving feel easier, like ClearSight technology and the Pivy Pro system, so you can keep track of where you're going and everything you want to listen to along the way. Plus, with up to 89 cubic feet of cargo space and available 3 rows, it gives you a lot of flexibility depending on what you're bringing with you. Explore the full Defender lineup at LandRoverUSA.com.
One thing I've learned about summer dressing is that the pieces you love most are usually the simplest ones, the things you reach for again and again because they're comfortable, versatile, and always seem to work. That's why we keep coming back to Quince. I've been especially loving their European linen pieces. They're lightweight, easy to wear, and somehow look polished without requiring any effort.
Quince makes elevated essentials using premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, but without the traditional markup. Their linen pants, dresses, and tops start at just $32, and their soft denim and organic cotton sweaters are perfect for cooler summer evenings. I also love their 14-karat gold jewelry, simple pieces that instantly pull an outfit together. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/Gretchen for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Gretchen for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Gretchen.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
All right, Gretch, we're back. What have you been meaning to tell me?
Okay. So this is the collision of several things that I'm interested in. First, okay, I wrote the book Life in 5 Senses, so I'm so focused on the value of the 5 senses to make our lives happier. In writing Life in 5 Senses, I realized how much I love the sense of touch and how I hadn't even realized how much I love the sense of touch. And I've really come to believe that we do not spend nearly enough time studying the power of touch and how to use the power of touch to make ourselves happier, healthier, more productive, and more creative. Okay, so cut to Operation Nix Knowledge. I love the Nix, and part of my empty nest project was to see, can I make myself interested in the Nix? Yes, I can make myself interested in the Knicks. And as everybody has pointed out, I picked the best possible time to get interested in the Knicks because it's exactly when I started getting interested in them that they started being this incredibly successful team. In fact, many people have said, Gretchen, maybe you're the reason that they're doing so well because the minute you started paying attention, I started paying attention with Karl Anthony Towns when they traded for Cat. It's been a great run. So they just won the NBA championships. It's fantastic. But so one of the things that I've thought a lot about as I've been watching these players is how much they touch each other. There is so much hand touching, patting each other on the back, arms around shoulders, fist bumps. And then like when they walk out, they'll do these sort of funny, like jump up and bump each other, these whimsical rituals that they have. But what I've really been focused on is hand touching. And I've thought, has anybody studied this pattern among, professional basketball players? Well, yes, indeed, there is. There is a study called The Power of Human Touch. Physical contact improves performance in basketball free throws. And what they've shown is the teams that touch more do better. And this is particularly interesting with the free throw, because with the free throw, it's like the pressure is on, right? You're just standing there at the free throw line. Every eye is on you. You're shooting that basket. You're going to make it or miss it, without anybody else's help or interference. There's a lot of pressure there. And what you'll see is that before they go to the free throw line, they will touch the hands of every player on their team. And whether they miss it or make it, they will again touch the hands of every player on their team. And I just thought that this was absolutely fascinating, because I thought I would love to be in a situation when I'm in a high stakes performance and I've got colleagues all around me, when everybody would like grasp my hand and say, "We got you," or like, "It's okay." I just thought it was so interesting to see this actually makes a difference in their performance.
Yes, and Gretchen, everyone talks about that with basketball, of how much the players touch each other. You know what it reminded me of is a lot of performers, before they go out, do like a huddle.
Yes.
They hold hands and make a circle and say, "Have a great show." Sometimes they do a prayer. And that always seems like an interesting, effective ritual.
I did an appearance on a talk show in Canada, and I noticed that the host did that. They formed a circle, and each one would say, "I've got your back," and put her hand on the back of the person in front of her in the circle. So it was like, "I've got your back, I've got your back, I've got your back, I've got your back," with people like patting each other on the back. I was so struck by that, because it was so obviously a moment of unity. We're going to approach this as a team. And I think it's just very reassuring to have this human touch. And in fact, there's a moment, and I want to do a little happier about it, but I can't resist talking about it now too. So of course, there's the championship of the Knicks against the San Antonio Spurs. And there was this game 4, which is already this legendary game. I was there in person with Jamie, which for the rest of my life, I'll be talking about it. It was one of the most extraordinary basketball games ever. Even I, as a newbie, appreciated, oh my gosh, this is a historic moment. So they had this incredible return from 29 points. I mean, it was just extraordinary. It was so close. And they were just within distance, right where they could pull ahead. And Josh Hart, who is really, really close friend with Jalen Brunson, who's a star performer, the MVP, the team captain, he misses this wide open layup that he definitely should have been able to make. And it would have put the Knicks in the lead when they were just 1 point behind the Spurs. And it was a heartbreaking moment. It was right at the end. It was huge, right? You just think of Josh Hart, the self-blame, the disappointment. It's so close. Why didn't they do it? Why didn't they do it? And in the end, they did, spoiler alert, they do win. It's fine. And actually, Josh Hart is quite funny about this. And he's like, "Oh, I just missed it so that OG Anunoby could have this amazing shot and he could get the credit for it." So he's very funny. What was interesting to me was Jalen Brunson was asked, "What one play do you think embodies this entire title run?" And he said, it was Josh Hart missing the layup. So Josh Hart misses the layup and play goes on for a few seconds. And then somehow Josh Hart ends up on the floor. He's on the floor and there's this moment where you see him put his head in his hands. Immediately, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jose Alvarado, they run to him. They bend over him. They outstretch their hands and they pull him to his feet. And Jalen Brunson said, "We said, get up, next play, moving on." And he said, that's what really embodies this team. And I think that is this moment of being literally pulled to your feet in a moment of reassurance by your team. We think of this, okay, these are NBA performers. And then you're saying, okay, but then it's maybe other kinds of performers too. But if all of us are performing in everyday life. And of course, touching is, it's so powerful. So there's a lot of things. It's also kind of dangerous. And there's many kinds of touch that are not appropriate. But it is making me think, are there ways to What do you call it when you stack your hands up? Like, what's that called when everybody puts their hands and is like, go team, that thing.
Right,
Whatever.
right.
Could you do that in some even kind of like silly way before a team meeting? Because even though it's silly, people might, I think they would actually feel reassurance about that, or like finding ways to do this. I don't know. But anyway, because I'm so interested in the power of touch, I was very interested to see that academic research had been done and did confirm that kind of natural feeling that this was something that helped people.
I love it. And I love that now sports are part of your research.
Well,
that's new.
It's funny because if you listen to the Little Happier episodes, the period where every other one was about Dolly Parton.
Yes.
I thought I was done with Dolly Parton. Here's one more insight about Dolly Parton. And then there's all my teaching stories. I love a teaching story. And it's like, I think she said all the big ones. It's like, oh no, I found another one. And I have my America Feeling, which are all my America Feeling ones.
Yes.
And now I have the basketball series, which is like, is 0 a number for the purposes of a basketball jersey and things like that. You don't have to be good at something to be good at something. Speaking of free throws, Mitchell Robinson, that guy can't hit 1 out of 2. And everybody touches his hand beforehand and everybody touches his hand after because he's just really bad at free throws. Anyway, so I'm going to look for ways to incorporate touch, appropriate touch, into everyday life and look for examples of it because I think it's powerful and it's part of our human nature.
Yes. Finally, what is our quote this week?
This comes from Elizabeth Taylor's novel, A Game of Hide and Seek. And as she would say, no, she is not that Elizabeth Taylor. She is a different Elizabeth Taylor. If we do not alter with the times yet alter us. We may stand perfectly still, but our surroundings shift round and we are not in the same relationship to them for long. Just as a chameleon matching perfectly the greenness of a leaf should know that the leaf will one day fade.
I love it.
So, Elizabeth, are you feeling happier?
Yes, I am feeling happier. Thank you to Chuck. Bye, Gretch.
Bye, Elizabeth. The best time to start a happiness project is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So, Elizabeth, is Off-White Delight only clothes related, or might you get an Off-White phone case or an Off-White baseball cap or an Off-White mug?
Well, I am carrying a bag that is Off-White. And Gretchen, it's a bag that I got some Cozy Earth sheets in.
Oh.
And I had saved it because I'm like, this is a good bag. It has a zipper.
This is my thing about packages being so nice.
Yes. So I happened to save that, and now it's my summer Off-White bag. But I'm not doing mugs and things like that, no.
Spiral out of control.
Not doing shoes, no. Although I already have white Birkenstocks, so that's handy.
Good.